Danish people don't need to be educated because they're so gorgeous they could all be supermodels. However, I still want to learn a little bit about this country's education system, and I've got 3 short videos I'm going to watch along with you now and hopefully learn something new. Let's do the reaction thing. Just for anyone new to the channel out there, I am a Brit and this is my 4th video in my Brit reacts to a country's education system series type thing. I've done Japan, Finland, America and now Denmark. I visited your wonderful country, Copenhagen, in 2017 and I would love to go back in the future if you will welcome me with open arms one day. And by all means, if any of the facts or things that happen in these next 3 videos, if you agree or disagree with them or you want to elaborate more, then please shout about it in the comment section below. Okie dokie, so this first video is called Denmark's Education System, where teaching empathy is part of the school curriculum. That's what we're going to find out.
I think for most Danish parents, it's at least as important to make sure that their kids has the right social skills than they have the academic skills. In my kids' schools, for instance, they would spend the first 6 months where they would just cut off all the education part whenever there was a situation where the kids was bullying or were yelling at each other, whatever.
Wow.
They would stop the education and then they would spend time solving that problem, trying to make sure that the whole class knew how to solve these problems, how to be a nice person to others. So the first 6 months, they would do that all the time. And I would get more and more stressed because I was like, when are they going to learn how to read and write and all that? But of course, today, their academic skills are really high.
The person you are and the traits that you hold deep inside are so important at an early age because they can ultimately determine your future outcome, not just educationally, but in employment, socially, and in relationships and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's great to learn about Pythagoras and that's an equilateral triangle, or that's a cumulonimbus cloud and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if a kid's being a bit of a dick and a bully, then I think it's right to pull them up in front of the rest of the class and have an open debate and discussion why it is wrong so they can learn from it and learn how to be a better human.
Because when you feel comfortable, when you're confident, when you are not stressed, when there are no bullying, when you are aware of all the things that you can do and all the things that is part of this social environment that is in the classroom, then you will achieve better. Then you will be more confident also in the academic way. So for me, it's very important that you have the academic skills, but you also have the social skills. And that is what we teach the children in school, but it's also what a lot of the Danish parents, most of the Danish parents, I would say, are focused on at home.
The way that I interpreted that was we want you all to be educational geniuses, but simultaneously we want you to be decent human beings and not an arsehole.
Lige præcis, så hvad var det, jeg sagde til jer, der var vigtigt?
Today, what you've been doing today is called Klassensstime, or you're saying it's
Yeah,
a little bit, it's an extension of that, is that?
Yeah, it's sort of a development of Klassen.
I'm sorry, but her eyes are just beautiful, piercing blue.
Because we're more focused now on developing each and every student, but also developing the community that the class represents. So the focus is both on the individual behavior, but also what is good for and in the group. The way that we educate students in Denmark is quite different. I have a very strong focus on the individual to make sort of a whole person or a whole platform around and under each and every student, because if they're not grounded and founded, they're not teachable.
That is very true. If you've got someone that has minimal social skills or lacks empathy, then it must be extremely difficult to try and preach and educate them.
And why do you think that's so important in Denmark?
I think it's important because you develop sort of a sensitivity and a careness for other people. And it gives you pleasure in the end to know that you lift others as well.
That documentary was from 6 years ago, and I do know that Finland has replaced Denmark as the happiest country on earth for the last few years. However, all of the Scandi and Nordic countries generally always appear in the top 5 and top 10, and there has to be a reason behind it. Perhaps it stems from their youth. I can potentially see this next clip we're going to watch being a little bit controversial and riling a few people out there, because it's all about Denmark rolling back their digital learning, because generally speaking, Denmark has been hailed as a digital champion and embracing technology in their education system. And we have seen of late with the social media ban in Australia, and I think Norway are potentially looking at it and monitoring it closely, as are the UK. We're potentially going through a consultation phase. So it's a very heated topic at the moment. Should we embrace technology? Should we restrict and limit it in our youth? Yeah, let's check out this thing now and react to it and talk about it.
Every morning the ritual is the same. At this Copenhagen school, children start their day by placing their phones in a locked box.
Very good.
Since the beginning of the school year, this has been the rule across Denmark.
He seems a bit pissed off about it, doesn't he?
And here, another visible change is taking place. After a decade of all digital learning, physical textbooks are making a comeback.
I don't know about you, but I'm an old school guy. If I'm learning or reading a book, I want something physical. I want it in my hands. I want to turn those pages. I want to see that I'm progressing through and empowering myself with those bits of tree that we've formulated into something that we can gain knowledge from. Yeah.
I think the biggest issue has been that because we kind of got rid of the books and started using screens instead, and that we've noticed that a lot of the kids have trouble concentrating. So it's pretty easy to swipe with 3 fingers over to a different screen and have a video game going, for example, during class.
Here, computers are now used sparingly and always under supervision.
I think it's fine, like how it is now. It's like a good stability between
They
both.
adapt eventually.
It's like really nice not to have so much screen time, because like I really love writing and reading.
How refreshing is it to hear a child say that?
A 180-degree turn for a country once seen as a digital pioneer, one triggered by alarming data. Teens aged 13 to 18 spend an average of 5.5 hours a day on their phones.
I know we're concentrating on children here, but a lot of adults spend more than 5 hours a day on their mobile phones too. And you see it all of the time, especially when you're commuting to work. People like lemmings with their head stuck in their phone, just oblivious to their surroundings. And as a species, a lot of us have become addicted and simply unable to function without a mobile phone.
As a result, phones are banned not only in schools, but also in youth centres and sports clubs.
Okay.
In this athletic club, using a phone is...
So what did he say? Athletic club? Say that again, mate.
In this athletic club, using a phone is forbidden, even during competitions.
It's like a nice pause from everything that's going on. You aren't accidentally on your phone too much during practice, because sometimes you can like pick it up to check something and then suddenly you've been there for 10 minutes and just wasted 10 minutes where you could have been jumping instead.
Yes, everyone, instead of spending the majority of your day on a mobile phone, you could be jumping instead.
When a cell phone enters into the room, 2 things happen. First of all, the energy drops completely. All of a sudden, the breaks are longer. And the second thing is that somebody is kind of out-group, which is very bad for a social environment.
Do you remember the good old days when you'd be out with some friends at a pub or a restaurant or something like that, and you'd be having a conversation and something wouldn't immediately come to your mind, and you'd be thinking, what was that thing that I was trying to think of? And it might come up later in conversation, it might come up in a couple of days' time, but no one really cared. Nowadays, as soon as that moment happens, someone's already got their mobile phone out trying to find the answer for you. We have become so reliant upon these devices that we are ultimately becoming more stupid.
For 2 years now, the association has also organised a National No Phone Day to encourage adults to set an example. 10% of the population took part this year, and a quarter of Danes say they've changed their behaviour.
I think we have
Hopefully
a huge responsibility as parents and as adults. I think we have to really switch off our phones, switch off our screens, and go out and have conversation, both with each other, but also with the young people.
What I really respect here is that the adults are aware this isn't just a youth issue. It stems from above, and they need to set an example. So fair play to them.
Reducing screen time and soon possibly restricting access to social networks altogether. A citizens' initiative led by digital health expert Imran Rashid has gathered more than 50,000 signatures calling for a ban on TikTok, Instagram and Snapchat for under 15s. Parliament is set to vote early next year, but he says the point of no return has already been reached.
The coming generations who are now starting public schools, who are now being brought up, I mean, they will hopefully have better conditions growing up than the current generation, because they were basically lost in the digital space, and their parents, I mean, my generation, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what we did.
After betting everything on screens, Denmark is going back to basics in its schoolyards.
At least they're aware of it, though. They're not ashamed to say, yeah, we made a mistake. We're going to go back. Analog. It's a difficult one, and I don't think there will ever be a perfect solution to screen time and whether we embrace or retract from technology in education. And if you're interested, I've done a discussion video about the Australia social media ban, and I think it's inevitable. It's just a matter of time before it gets rolled out into a lot more countries, Denmark and UK included. And I'd love to know your thoughts on the topic, so check that video out if you ever get a few minutes and let me know what you think. This is the third and final video about how students in Denmark get paid to go to university.
Here are two students who have a lot of things in common. But there is one big difference. Students in Denmark don't pay tuition fees to attend university.
That's the way it should be.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Country.
Nothing.
Every country.
Danish students even get paid to study.
It's quite surprising that Danish students don't have to pay tuition fees at all. But it's even more surprising that they all get money every month.
To help support them. So there's less stress and
financial
anxiety and
support that I'm
worry.
receiving as a student is just essential for me. I can't pay my fees or my rent if I haven't had it. I don't think I'm going to take a loan through my education in Denmark, which is pretty nice, I guess. Then I can actually earn money when I come on the other side.
I must add that this documentary was from about 8 years ago, so the prices will have definitely been inflated. I don't even want to know how much it costs now.
But before we all emigrate to Denmark, we should keep in mind that nothing comes for free. And the fairy tale about Denmark has an expensive hidden side. Danes pay a lot more in tax than the Brits.
Yeah, but for a reason, because they're getting stuff back. Yes, it's true. Countries like Denmark, Norway and Sweden, as an example, pay a lot more tax than we do in the UK, but for good reason, because look at what they're getting for their taxable income. They're getting free education, for a start. Happiness. In Sweden, they get about 100 years of maternity and paternity leave at full pay. In the UK, we're lucky if we get our bins collected once a week.
Here we just get the opportunity for everyone to go to school and go to hospital, which I just think is so important.
It's the way it should be.
Then we have like equal rights to
everywhere.
Everyone.
I think you all know my answer to that last question. Of course I would, but realistically, I don't ever see that happening in the UK, not in my lifetime at least. But how do you feel? Would you be willing to pay more tax if it meant everyone had an opportunity to go to university? I rather enjoyed watching those 3 short films with you, and if you are Danish, then seed me and enlighten me with your knowledge in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. Look after yourself. Hopefully, I'll see you very soon. Bye for now, people.